Oh. Okay. Everybody gonna bite that
I want to bless the food so that we can be able to encourage her and do what we do and enjoy the night and just bless Serena on her 50th birthday. I've been telling her we got told so many lies. She's been in these lies with me. And I got to tell her I got this wedding I got to sing at. I got this wedding I got to play at. And then I changed the song. She said, I thought you said the song was so-and-so. So then as it got closer, she said, I ain't got no music for this wedding yet that you've been talking about we got to sing or play at. So then I was like, don't worry me no more with the details. I just told you, you need to be there. So, let us pray. Gracious God, we just honor you and we thank you, God, for another season of life, of another year, another decade, God, to transition. We thank you that it is a year of Jubilee, crossing over into 50. So we thank you for Serena and the lives of the people she touches along the way. But today, God, this is her day. God, we thank you for another year of life, another candle to blow out, another place to celebrate. Somebody just needs to celebrate right there, just for another year of life. So God, we thank you for blessing the food, for nourishment for our bodies, God. We honor you and praise you in Jesus' name. And we say amen. Amen. All right, guys, we're going to get the party started. Birthday girl, you go first. What you want? We got to get her plate.
Sorry about that. No, it's not me. I'm not spilling that. I got to go back. Sorry about that. Go back to the...
Is it turkey? Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey, you look good. You look fine. I hope you had a great time. Oh, singing happy.
some people say, I won't sing for my supper. Y'all about to sing for y'all supper tonight. There's too much talent in this room, too much gifting. Somebody's like, oh God, I hope she don't come my way with mine. But today we want to give a tribute to Serena. To be able to toast her. You can roast her or toast her. Lovingly. So we first have the toast. I want to ask everyone that has their glass. It has burners in it. It's a good beer. Amen. It's always good to hear. But it's something that we want to be able to, I'm going to let you capture a moment of it. I want us to be able to encourage her and celebrate her and lift her up for 50 years of life. Let us celebrate and toast to Serena Bingham. Happy birthday! So, I'm going to allow the time, so if anyone wants to give a tribute, say anything, to be an encouragement to her, you see right where she's at, you can be able to come to the mic. The mic is on right now, so be able to come. If you want to come this way, just be encouraged to be able to encourage Serena right where she is, and I'm going to give it back to Zay. You all?
I'm going to encourage us to Robert that time. Listen here. Listen here, if you need somebody to play for your band, you better get Serena because she know all the songs.
All of them.
All the songs. She know all the rock and roll songs. She know the Elvis Presley songs. She know, listen here, she can play anybody band. Top 40s, from the 40s, 50s music, 60s music, 70s music, 80s music. She can play line dance songs. Don't put it past her because we've done the line dance song. Down, down, do your dance. She know how to play that. and listen, and she don't complain much. Y'all see, if you've been in bands like I have, people do a whole lot of complaining and whining. So we ain't gonna do that. Just get Serena her money, she gonna play. She gonna argue with you, my baby. Gonna be no long discussion. She ain't gonna be having to hit the fit if stuff ain't right. Also, she want her money. And she don't want about her business. She's so easy to work with. And that's what I appreciate about her. She's encouraging. We have had a couple of all-girl bands with Serena at the helm of them, and just a powerful, important woman in the musical community here in Cleveland. And I would like to say, we love you, Serena. Don't y'all try to make her go back up there where y'all living, because she can't go. She's irreplaceable. Let's make that clear. I mean, it's nice y'all came so that she won't be so homesick.
Bless her and love her and just love her more.
Thank you, honey. No rain outside. Let me be professional. No rain. No rain.
Serena. Rena. Riri. C-No. Girlfriend. Auntie. TT. She's everything. She's so many things to so many people. One of the things I love about, one of the many things I love about Serena is that she loves young people. Like a lot of times musicians that are of her caliber don't have time or the patience to work with young people because it takes time and it takes patience and you have to understand them. But Serena is just so gifted in loving people no matter what stage of the game or your career that you're in. I love her because she's encouraged me as I've gone from different stages of music, and as Andrene said, she is the most calming individual on the set. She's always smiling, even when it's jacked up. She's always got a smile on her face. And we just love you, Serena, the city of Cleveland, the country, the nation, the world. We love you and happy birthday.
Well, Serena, we do appreciate you. We thank you. Just snatch it. Serena, we appreciate you. We love you. Serena has been everybody's, I don't know, musically savior. She's built a lot of us out. She's been there to just, fill in and help so many people in this city. I mean, when people first come to this city, I tell them, pastors and people that are starting ministries, I tell them about Serena. I say, you gotta know Serena. You are a gem. You are a blessing.
Yes.
And you're not just in music, you're a blessing. You're the Spirit of God that's in you is blessings, woman of God. And we often talk about your musicianship and how gifted and talented you are, but you are a blessed woman of God. I am just so thankful and grateful to God for allowing you to cross my path. You are my sister. I love you. My family loves you. We've been knowing you since my daughter was here, so, starting to walk. So we do bless you today. We celebrate you. We honor you. And we thank God for you. Keep doing what you're doing. This is a new season. You're just going to do it better. Amen.
Amen.
To Serena. So, what do I love about Serena? One of the things I love about her is every time she goes on the film, she brings me home cheese.
Get all that down.
You know what that means? Me home. So, I love that. I also love the fact that at 2:30 in the morning when my wife wants to be creative and stuff, I get to still sleep because she calls Serena and gets up.
I got another wedding.
I'm just teasing. There's so much. She has been there for so many things and so many events in both of our lives, both celebratory and sad events and things there. She is truly part of the family, and she's been a blessing. And I remember when I broke my kneecap when I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Listening to teasing my wife, and she, I don't know, I think she prayed and made me trip. But I remember I needed to get back and forth from work, and Denise couldn't do it because she had oral surgery, so we took time out of the day to drive all the way downtown to pick me up and bring me back home. Listen to the Sports Talk Radio.
No, Lord.
Where you are a co-host of every talk show.
Yeah, so much now that I even send her blurbs for my own talk show. There's so many memories and so many things. Thank you, Serena. Love you, Auntie Reed.
I am the one that go finds events just so she can go play. So now I gotta go find something else because she came and she played for us and she kept saying, can you send me music? No, I don't know it, but she came and just jammed. But what I think most about it is her transparency. When she asks you, are you okay? She means that. And that's what I love about you.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm not a fan of the mic, as you know. But I just had to say how much I love you and I care about you. And I just thank you for being a forever friend and being so kind and sweet to me when I was definitely not at my best. And always being that voice of reason and, get me out of places. But I just want to thank you. And I just want to let you know that you're appreciated. And you are a heart of gold. And I just thank God for you every day. God bless you.
Hi, everybody. My name is, if you don't know, my name is Philip K. Jones Jr. And I'm a native son here in Cleveland, Ohio. I came to know this lady by name only when I was a teenager growing up around here. And a friend of mine who she went to when we were teenagers named Larry Oliver always told me about her. And to this day, tells me about how much of a blessing she had been to him. And I didn't come to meet her until I was maybe 21 years old, if not a little bit earlier. And everything that all of you have said in this room has been nothing but absolutely true. And I've admired this lady from afar. I've admired her just pouring into a friend of mine, you know, being a mentor, and actually having a chance to play with her has been always great. We didn't do it much, but the few times that we got a chance to do it, I was always blessed in doing that. And then what was also inspiring for me was every now and then that when we had crossed paths, when I was about 22 years old, she would often tell me from time to time that she would hear me on the radio playing for the church where I was at the time, doing all of these other things, and she was saying that she was enjoying it, and that made me feel real good. And I really appreciated that. And so I lived in Houston about several days from here, and I got a call from my friend about planning for this wonderful celebration, and I thought it was a high honor for them to ask me to come and play. So that's why I'm here, just because we love you.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
I'll go next. Okay, no mic. So, I'm kind of like he was. I guess in high school, I used to, me and my friends used to always follow Serena. This is before I met her. She was like a superstar to me. on the Oregon. But we used to follow Serena. We used to ride the bus up to, what's the church on 116th? Bethany. We used to ride the bus to Bethany and sit in the back so we could hear Serena play. Then eventually we will leave. But as I got older, I've gotten to play with Serena. I've gotten to glean from Serena. My bank account has been empty because Serena always shows me new gear. And I feel like I have to have it. I always tell her I'm trying to stay up with her, you know. Yeah. But I love you, Serena. She is like the musical jukebox. I call it the musical jukebox because you can name any song. And Serena can play it. Yes. I think I've gotten 1 million calls for girl bands, and I already can tell them off the top. If Serena can't do it, I don't know what we can do. We're going to do it, okay? Serena is, I don't know, you've been a mentor to me. I mean, I can call Serena for anything outside of music. But even in music, there are not a lot of women that do what we do. Right. You know, as far as knowing how to play, but knowing software and knowing equipment and knowing how to really dig in. And Serena is she's like a computer. And she's taught me so much just as a musician. She's taught me how to take care of my equipment. She's taught me how to take care of my body and not break my back trying to carry so much stuff. She keeps me up on everything. So I appreciate you, Serena, and I love you. And I'm looking for many more years playing with you. And I just thank God for you being you. I thank God for the smile on your face. I thank God that I could, even if it's not about music, I could just call you and talk to you, and you would just, be there for me. And you've really been a mentor to me, and I really love you. And happy birthday.
Y'all good? Y'all all right? We all right. This could be a funeral, right? Right. All right, so how y'all feel? Oh, that's why y'all quiet. Y'all like, oh man. Okay, so everything y'all said has been absolute. Hey, we still in church now, all right? But everything y'all said has been absolutely true about Serena. It's really important as a musician that we do things like this and not really focus on music, because our gifting is always misused. We only care about a person because they're able to play. When they're not able to play, who else is able to play? Right. So I just want to honor Serena just on the fact that she's an amazing person. She is. Like, just amazing. Like, she's like my best friend, you know, and she has talked me off the cliff many of days, many of nights, many of mornings, and it's really important to have people like that in your life. She's totally irreplaceable.
Absolutely. Right.
Like, there's nobody in the world like Serena.
That's right.
You know, and like, nobody comes close. I meet a lot of people, do a lot of things. I've never met anybody like you. And she's just a phenomenal person. I'm going everywhere but music, you know what I'm saying? Because we know she can do all of that, but she's a phenomenal person. And it's really cool to call a person and just talk. And that 5 minutes, hey, I gotta go to the car, I gotta get in the shower. This is me all day. I gotta get in the shower, I gotta go. I'm on the phone, in the shower, talking to her, getting dressed, like literally get to the gig, you know, and then I'm unpacking, like setting up stuff, and I'm still on the phone. Like that 5 minutes supposed to get in the shower, I done did everything. Because the conversation is so good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm trying not to get emotional because... No, I get emotional, but I love you. And I'm happy that Reverend Denise decided to do this. Because, like, if she didn't do this, like, it's hard getting people together. Like, I would never have been able to get you. Like, that's amazing, y'all. Like, that's great. I mean, I can go through Facebook and call most of y'all, but man. What's your name again? All right, so I love you, Serena. Really appreciate you, and I'm glad you're here. Like, 50 years is amazing. We can look on the news and see that people not making it to 35. You know. So Serena got a lot to do, and I'm glad that she's surrounded, this is my last thing, I promise. I'm glad that she's surrounded by genuine people that don't use her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know, not prostitute her.
Yes.
You know, and we want the best for you, and we really appreciate you.
Praise the Lord, everyone. My name is Sharon D. Reeves, and I just want to say to Serena, you don't know that a lot of times people don't know Serena be behind the scenes. She's not just playing, she's behind the scene. And I never once called you and you refused to help us out, to help me out or to help my husband out. And you are a quiet spirit. I've been around you long enough when there was a lot of chaos going on, a lot of chaos. You always been real down low. Should change the subject, but that's something nice to say so you can just forget about the chaos. And that's because you are a true Christian woman. I've never seen you argue about anything or to anybody. Everybody can't say that. Even though we try, you can't say that. And I watched you over the years, and I do know I'm not in that field that you're in, but I do know that women do have a problem with getting paid what they are supposed to get paid. I do know that. And I pray for you that one day somebody will go, hey, pay that woman, pay her. Anybody that knows you, you'll do right on the spot for them. Oh, Serena, I need you to do this. Okay, you right there. And you taught me and the ensemble how to sing. Y'all know that Serena taught about 4 of us how to sing in less than 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, everybody in the church was like, where are the women that sang? You remember that? And she took time with us. And she's one of those kind of people that just take time with you. You know, everybody don't take time with you. And I love that you took time enough with us faithful few that stepped up to sing. And I'll never forget that, and we love you. Thank you.
Mr. Ross is here. This used to be my band boss.
Thank you very kindly. I try to be as brief as possible, but it's impossible to be brief when you're talking about a phenomenal lady like this.
Yes.
And just to tell you all how I met this charming, beautiful, talented young lady. About, it was what, 30-something years, 35 years? Yeah, something like that.
About 30.
My band was going strong and heavy. We were gigging all over the place, but I didn't have a keyboard player, so I was using 2 guitar players. So I'm getting ready to leave to go somewhere, and the phone rings. There's a guy named John Brinson, who's an international celebrity. Everybody knows who he is mostly. And he left a message on my voice message. Eugene, this is John Brinson, a young lady from Philadelphia by the name of Serena Mangum. She's a keyboard player, and all I heard was keyboard. I said, "Girl," and broke back to the phone, picked it up. She sounded so sweet, and she said she's looking for some work. And she was playing at a place. Can I tell them?
Oh, yeah, you can tell.
Okay, in East Cleveland. And I went there to check her out and everything, and she stood out. She lit up the whole room. Seriously, she was so young, like a little baby, still had a baby face. And she lit the whole room up. And I said, this girl's got some skills. We hooked up, and we've been working together for 30-something years. I could go on and on telling you things about Serena. She's never ever messed me up. She's pulled me out of the fire so much. It's a wonder that I don't have burns all over me and stuff. And there's just nothing I wouldn't do for her. I was actually in Buffalo doing something that I had to remember. I said, oh man, that's right, school. So that's why I'm late. So I took off. One day I didn't get a ticket. I had to be here for this. Because Serena is just, you can't say too much about her because it's just, she's very consistent. When she's on a gig with me, I don't worry about anything. She's one of the few people that a person can sing, and she might not even know the show. She just sit down there and she's looking for a while, and all of a sudden, playing her parts beautifully. And she can tell everybody where their part is, too, and no one says anything because they know she knows what she's talking about. And I could go on and on for about 3 or 4 hours, but Serena, I love you from my heart. You are one of the closest people to me in my life. Oh, the last thing I want to tell you all, I don't want to be negative, but I lost my wife like 4 years ago. Serena knew her very well. After that, I got sick myself, and I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. And I was so sick, it was terrible, on chemo and all that. And that's when you can tell who your true friends are. When people take off and leave you, you know, well, they're not really my real friend. This lady came by, brought me stuff, boosts, I couldn't eat anything else, and would get an attitude if I tried to pay her. I pull out money and she'd be mad, but I wouldn't take it. How are you going to find somebody like that? I mean, she's just a wonderful, beautiful person, and that's the end of my talk, because I could talk for another year about her. I love you, Serena. All right.
It's all right. You do a good job.
This is for the 2 candles are for the first 25, and this is for the second 25 years. So encourage you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Serena. Happy birthday to you. I'm liking this 4-part harmony. I heard a lot of men.
Love you too, best friend. Oh, love you too, Brandon.
You're on the mic, okay, is that something you want to say?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I ain't gonna take up too much of your time. I hope you enjoy yourself, and I like you.
I love you too.
Okay, so I don't really want to stand up, but
Serena is my baby sister. And when I say baby sister, I mean she was my baby before my babies actually came. So there's nothing anybody could do to her, say to her, or hurt her in any way. And when she moved up here, that's one of the things that I said to her. If somebody says something wrong, looks at you wrong, whatever, just give me a call and I'm on my way up here. She's the quiet, warm spirit, and I'm the one that's a little bit off the hook to the loud.
Gotta have a balance.
And so I'm really, it's a blessing to hear everyone say the good things and to show your love for her, because that's always been my concern. She's up there, all, you know, for me, all by herself. And that eats on me all the time because I just feel as though she's all by herself. And now I can see she's surrounded by love and people who love her. Her character, she's always been that way. She's always been the one to do for others and mild-mannered. I'm the one that they spent money on having piano and organ lessons. And she's the one that sat down one day and just started playing. So, you know, we're very different. She's the aunt with no kids, and my kids are like, she can do no harm. So if I get in an argument with any of my other siblings, they could care less. But I better not get in an argument with their Aunt Riri, because I'm not trying to hear it. And so, you know, and I know she talks to them when they have a grievance with me. I know she talks them down. I mean, I don't think I'm not sure if they know that I know that they call her, but she calls me and then tries, you know, she brings up stuff that she shouldn't know unless somebody has given her a call. So I appreciate, you know, everything she does with being the in-between person, the liaison, the intervener, and just for what you say she is for you, she is for me. Although she's my baby sister, I can go to her, talk to her, and tell her absolutely anything. And I don't have to worry about it going to anybody else because it's between me and her. And, you know, anything that I could do for her, I will do for her. And when it was her birthday coming up, I said to my other family members, well, Serena's getting ready to turn 50 in July. I don't know how I'm going to get up there because I wasn't really working. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get up there, but I'm going to get up there. And I'm just letting y'all know now in case you want to come along, but whether you come or not, I'm going to be here. And so, and I think she didn't think I was sincere that I might make it, not make it. But it wasn't a question in my mind as to whether or not I was going to make it. I was going to be here regardless of what I had to do. My car was having a little bit of problems in that I'm kind of riding dirty in Pennsylvania. So, and I was willing to ride dirty to come on up here if I had to, but it just so happens that God intervened and I didn't have to do that. But anyway, I just want to wish her the she's been such a blessing to me and my family, but I just want to thank God for her for 50 years of life and just many, many, many more. Continue to let God use you so that you continue to be a blessing to all of the lives around you. I love you.
Serena, I couldn't miss this opportunity to wish you a happy birthday. You played at my 60th birthday, and I got another one coming up on Tuesday. It's a long way from 60. But I want to thank you for being so sweet, for being in my life, and I wish you all God's blessings and continue to grow.
Happy birthday, Serena. I simply call Serena Pro, because she's a pro. And you are, I'm not going down the musical journey, but thank you, Serena.
I forgot one thing, you know what I'm gonna tell you to do? Finish that degree.
Yes, ma'am.
To Sabrina, I'm glad the party's over. For all month I've been lying. Put 2 or 3 menus together. And I said, Denise, Serena don't need that stuff. You get Serena something that she likes. Okay, Mom, she got another menu. I said, that ain't no work. Denise, I'm getting the menu together. Okay. And then she said, okay, Mama. And Serena said, guess what, my son? Lisa got a wedding on my birthday. I think that's awful, don't you? I said, yeah. I said, tell Lisa to get somebody else. You don't have to play. She said, Denise,
How you doing? Your Honor, Exhibit A.
when I can't get that daughter and that daughter, I can call Serena.
Yes.
And Serena will be there on the spot. And then when we go shopping, we like to go eat.
Yes.
And when she
Shout
comes
out.
back,
We gotta eat.
she wants some food. And I said, Serena, we ain't gonna carry no food. She said, oh, no, school, we don't carry a little bit. She at work. But I think the Lord
Job
wants
is a good
Serena.
thing.
She's always there when I need her. And sometimes as a mother, I look at Sabrina, I said, Sabrina, you ain't wearing that to church. She said, Mama, school this up. I said, you ain't wearing that. They talk about me, but they know I love them. But when they need prayer, guess what? They call me. That's right. I'll be there.
That's right.
And I will fight for them. I do anything for them.
Just like
Because I know they walk with the Lord. And that's a blessing. And I thank the Lord for it. Thank you.
I just want to say that I love you. And a lot of people spoke about all your musical talents and things like that. I've not known you that long, but I know one thing, that you are the best musician out there. But I will tell you this, that I know her because of her character and how she walks with the Lord and how she prophesies and how she can pray for you and bring you through some things. Now that's the side that I know. Now when I first met her, it was about maybe 8 years ago, or a little bit less. I was at the church, and I had planned a women's weekend retreat, a Friday and a Saturday. First time we had ever done it. So I called all my friends, all my girlfriend preachers, and said, y'all gotta come. You gotta come, you gotta sing, you gotta do whatever you gotta do, but you gotta be there. Well, being of the old school, I didn't ask Serena, who was the musician at the church, to come and play for this little women's workshop on Friday night and all day Saturday. Because all the experience I've had with other musicians who were musicians, if it wasn't Sunday morning or a funeral, they didn't come. You barely find them on Sunday afternoon for a program, right?
You better say what you need to say.
Come on.
Come on now, get freed up.
Don't get a preacher or a microphone. I'll be here for a minute. I'm gonna make it short. We'll get out of here real quick. Well, I'm gonna tell you, out of the churches that I had worked with, if I said, can you come out on a Saturday morning to do just a little something? They would look at me like, well, you got, that's extra. Okay? And I said, okay. So I really didn't know Serena, and she had not been at the church that long. So I didn't even go there with her, because I knew what I was going to get. Some, backlash. I didn't have a dime to pay anybody extra.
Oh, wait, don't say nothing about wedding though.
Come on now, didn't have a budget in church. But I said, we're going to go on and bless these women. So I had got all my CDs, my boom box, had printed off all these words, and we just going to do the Kumbaya Friday night and all day Saturday.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya. So Friday night, I'm getting stuff into into the church for the thing to go on, right? Here comes Serena pulling up. I'm like, what's she doing here? Because she didn't sign up for the workshop. I don't know why she's here. So she got out and she had a little musician. And then here comes this woman I had never seen before in my life. That Pastor Denise came out the car with her. I said, what's going on here? And she said, look, I said, Serena, why are you here? And she said, ain't there a women's workshop going on tonight? I said, well, yeah, we didn't sign up. You didn't pay your $35. You coming? She said, I'm here to play. I said, I got the boombox and all my family jams. I said, you coming to play? I said, did the pastor tell you? She said, no. But it was on the church program. And I said, well, okay, I'm trying to find my purse. Because I said, well, she looked different. I got to give her something. Didn't have a dime.
No money.
No money. And she said, it's okay. This is what we do. I'm here to help you. This is what I do. And she said, just be encouraged. I said, okay. And then she brought her with this food. The CDs had never been played since then. I'm telling you, they hold up the church at the women's conference. And then on Saturday, I didn't think she'd come back. It was a good little thing Friday night. But everybody's got something to do on Saturday. Here comes Serena and Pastor Denise again. I said, they here on time, and they gonna bless us today too? They came in there and blessed us. Pastor Denise even gave a word. Amen. She was laying hands and preaching. Look at God. Look at God. And I'm telling you, it's a character in the Jesus that she walks with. When she has a purpose, she is walking out her destiny. And like everybody says, she's a quiet spirit. You don't even know she's in the room, but she's there. I'm telling you, we have been like this ever since. I can talk to her about anything. We can go eat together. Amen.
Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Puck. We're a Wolfgang Puck. That's what we go on for your birthday. Back to Wolfgang. And I could call her and talk to her about anything. And then the pleasure was mine then to meet Pastor Denise, because they are double trouble. I love you both. I can't do without them. But I'm going to tell you something, may God continue to bless you and all your musical gifts. One day maybe you'll play for me when you find Z flat, because I know I'm not a soloist. I do sing in Z flat in my shower. So just wait for my debut. Because I know Serena can find it somewhere in there for this voice. So I love you. Celebrate 50 with you, God. And I just want you to know personally that you've been a blessing to me more than what you'll ever know. And also Pastor Denise. I couldn't have missed this. I shouldn't even be out walking, but I'm here. And it's a wonderful thing. I was somebody I was on the list. Amen.
Serena has known me since, I don't know, I can't remember how long or where he came into the picture. But since she's helped my dad and she's always been around. So what I cherish about Serena is the conversation. Other than the music, she's like another history book. I thought she was from Cleveland. Me too. When I met her, we were talking, she would tell me all the history. I'm like, okay, especially like EC and all that type of stuff. I'm like, okay. And I'm on Facebook scrolling, and I see you went back to Philly, or you went back for some trip you went, and we talked. You said you were actually from Philly. I was like, that's crazy. You know all this stuff, and you weren't from here. So I'm just grateful for all of the history lessons that you have given me about Cleveland. And again, she'll talk to you and give you all the information you need. I'll be leaving out the parking lot of the church, and we'll talk and be sitting out on Euclid till 10 o'clock at night talking. No, we shouldn't be sitting out there till 10 o'clock talking. But I'm just grateful for our conversation.
My girl.
So many things I got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. 'Cause there's a possibility that you look at me differently, love. Ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from then on I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change. 'Cause love, so many people use your name in vain. Love, those who have faith sometimes go astray. Love, so many ups and downs and joys and hurts. Love, for better or worse, I still will choose you first. Many nights I long for you, wanting you, hoping for the chance to get to know you, longing for your kiss, for your touch, your feel, your presence, yeah. Many nights I cry from the things you do, felt like I would die from the thought of losing you. Know that you're real, with no doubts and no fears and no questions. So many people I still will choose you first. At first it didn't mean that much to me, no. But now I know you're all I need, oh. The world looks so brand new to me. Now that I found love, every day I live for you, yeah. And everything that I do it for you. What I say, what I feel, so baby it's true. You've got to know the truth. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Those who have faith sometimes go astray. Oh, yeah. Baby, yeah. Ooh, through all the ups and downs, yeah, yeah. For better or worse, for better or worse, for better or worse, I still will choose you first.
I know I've been changed. I know you remember.
Oh, yeah, he slapped.
What is
He slapped mine.
it? Is it that high? Up there? Okay, here we go. Okay, this is a clip. Play that she plays for me. I know I've been changed.
I think Rita the first person I sang this with. She played. You taught me how to sing this.
And life is like a song
Once I hit the parking lot, I recognized license plates, so I realized that this was possibly a setup. And then I kept asking questions, and I kept getting these crazy answers. And so then I started putting 2 and 2 together, got 56. And so I said, okay, this is a setup. But what really tripped me out was I didn't know my sister was able to get one of my outfits in my. She's only been in my house maybe 2 days, and already she's landscaped everything in my house. So I really have to really tighten up with security in my house, because I didn't realize that she was able to do these things without me noticing. I mean, she noticed literally everything in my house, and then she started asking me for things. Do you have this? Do you have that? And I said, well, I haven't seen that in months. And lo and behold, I really had it. So that let me know she really observed a whole lot of things in my house that I really didn't really pay attention to. So that let me know I need to really tighten up on security, number 1. But number 2 is I have really been overwhelmed with the love in the room right now. Especially, let me start with the band. Phil is. Let me start with Phil. Phil is my buddy because more ways than one. Phil and I have a little thing going on with Facebook. Phil is a phenomenal musician. But on top of that, he has a sense of humor. And Phil, I will be playing on stage, and I'll get something from Facebook Messenger. He'll send me these videos of people singing. There was one video, I'm going to mention this in particular. There was one video, there was a quartet singing. And in the middle of the quartet, the guy jumps over the pulpit trying to get over to the band, and they singing, and he falls in the middle of the song. Equipment and all just went over. And the group kept on singing. And they stopped long enough to look down as he went over and hit the deck. And then they kept right on singing. It was like the music paused for 2 seconds, and then they went right on singing and kept going. I'm on stage watching this because Phil sent me something. And I stopped. I mean, the song, I normally don't come out of character when I'm on stage playing. But at that particular time, I missed the whole verse of something. I don't know what happened. I stopped what I was doing. I said, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me respond to this text. I text, LOL, Phil, don't do this to me. Right now, I'm on stage. Can you please hold this up until after I'm done what I'm doing? Phil paused, and then he'll go right back at it. Midnight, I'm coming off stage. Here we go again with Phil, these crazy videos. Somebody falls down the elevator, some crazy stuff, and then he'll send videos about musicians and keyboard players, and this is not how you back up a preacher, and things like that. Just crazy stuff that only musicians can really get. I appreciate Phil for his humor. He's a phenomenal musician, but he has a sense of humor, and a lot of things that I tell a lot of our musicians is don't take yourself so seriously. You got to be able to have fun and enjoy yourself too. So Phil, like I said, keep sending them. Keep on sending the videos because I'm enjoying that. I really am enjoying that. This is my first time hearing the saxophone player. Yeah. It's a pleasure. I told my family, I named everybody in the band, but when I got to the saxophone player, I said, I don't know who he is, but he's fantastic. But that's a special relationship that I have with my musician friends. I don't even have to tell them what is needed. And this was a surprise, so I didn't really have to tell them anything. They just put it together. So thank you so much for playing. I'm honored that you would come and play for my birthday party. Thank you so much. Your name is? Jim Witherspoon. Thank you so much, Jim. TT, we call her TT. TT is what we call the Swiss Army knife of music industry here. TT sings. She's a lyrical soprano. She also plays drums, as you can see. She also plays keys, and she also plays bass. So she's what we call a Swiss Army knife. I was on stage last night, and I was speaking with one of the consultants for a corporate group with a wedding band, and they were talking. They were happy with my playing, but the majority of the conversation was about TT. To be honest, they were talking about TT, but that's just how much her reputation precedes her, because you may see her on the job, and she may be on the bass, she may be on the keys, she may be on the drums, she may be just singing background or singing up front. You don't know when you may find her. So she is someone that you'll be seeing her face everywhere, and you don't know what instrument she'll be on, but you will see her. I'm honored to consider her a close friend as well, and I call her as well when I want to laugh and joke about some things that I see online, and sometimes I laugh and joke about some of the things that I watch on the inspiration stations broadcast that sometimes shouldn't be broadcast, but nonetheless they are, and TT is my go-to for that. So I enjoy our relationship, and thank you so much for being here this evening. And I want to, last but not least, talk about one of my closest friends, one of my besties, Jose. Jose did not exaggerate when he talks about how we talk, and we do talk. We talk quite a bit. We talk and talk and talk some more about some of the things that go on, and some of the things we've seen, and some of the things we've heard. And I bounce ideas off of him, and he bounces ideas off of me. A lot of times he'll call me and say, "You got a minute?" And I say, "Sure, let's talk." And we work out some things. Sometimes I've even bounced some ideas off of him and talked about what I'm doing. But I enjoy our talks and sharing about the industry. I would like to say industry-minded musicians. There are a lot of musicians that play for just money. And when you play for money, you're playing for applause. Yes. And when you play to applause, that's all you're going to get. That's right. And so it's important that you learn that this is an industry, this is a business, and you need to be built for the long haul and the longevity, because the industry shifts and it changes. Just like a lot of you work your jobs, and the industry shifts and changes, and so does the music industry. You have to be more industry-minded, but you also have to be cutting edge. And a lot of our musicians are seasoned musicians, tend to not make that shift. And so when the industry changes, they feel abandoned. They feel abandoned because this is the industry that they helped build, and now they're not being supported, and there's no niche for them, there's no place for them. So it's important as musicians in the industry that we must be critical-minded thinking, we must be cutting edge. I was real excited to see when we didn't quite have the keyboard, that they worked it out, and an actual hardware keyboard, they worked it out, and he's playing the laptop, and he got the controller, and I'm like, yes, we got that's what I like to see, because my musicians friends know that I can take an iPad and a controller and do a whole show, a whole night with just that. And a lot of times people are looking for a keyboard, and there is no keyboard. It's just my laptop, and I'm playing, and I'm doing the whole night with that. And those are the things that as musicians you have to think, because in case, let's say, somebody steals the keyboard, and forbid that they do, where something or the keyboard goes down. Those are the things where now the industry is such you can take a laptop and a controller and do a whole night and do a whole show. And that's how the industry has changed. It's changed now that we no longer have pianos and physical instruments. We're taking laptops and computers and we're doing a whole show with just a laptop. And those are the things that are important for musicians now in the industry, to be able to be computer programmers as well as skilled musicians. You have to be able to program a laptop and program shows, and that's important. And yes, yes, I spend a lot of time, and those are the things that I talk with Jose about, how to program a whole show with a laptop, how to program a whole show with iPad, how to run click tracks to back up the band. So those are the things that are important, because now you're not going to get jobs just by your skills, your musical skills. You got to have programming skills as well. So Jose is my bestie when it comes to those things, because we're always talking about how to upgrade equipment and how to think cutting edge, because that's important. And don't think that it's not just important for pop rock and concerts and tours. It's important for churches too now. Now you cannot get jobs for churches unless you can be able to program a laptop, a computer, and run click tracks behind your bands at churches. They expect that now. So you just can't come in and play the piano and the organ, because they've moved out the piano, and they'll keep the organ for your Kojic and your apostolic and your Pentecostal worship service. They'll keep the organ, but the piano's gone. So now you have to be able to program shows and program your song selections and your laptops and your click tracks, and they expect that now. So Jose is always my go-to guy. That's my tech consultant is Jose. But more importantly, I just value our friendship, and I'm just honored to call you friend, my bestie. And I'm just so honored that you would be here this evening. Well, I'm moving from Jose to Eugene. Eugene Ross. Eugene has been my band leader for over 30 years. I was a teenager when I started playing for Eugene. That's how long ago I've been working with Eugene. Eugene knows that he can call me anytime, and if I can do it, I will do it. A lot of the music and a lot of things that people shared about me, why I know as much music as I know is because of that man. That man is the one who taught me the music from the Ink Spots and the Platters and all of the music from Frank Sinatra, big band. I went on from big band up through to the 60s and the 70s, Motown, soul oldies, disco. We went from disco to the 80s and the 90s with Whitney Houston and Babyface. There's my other bestie, Angie, sitting here getting all excited, because that's the time when I met Angie, is when we were in the throes of the 80s, 90s music with Babyface and Whippoorwill. Well, I can say Whippoorwill. Angie loves Babyface. So at that time when I met Eugene, that was the music of that era. Whippoorwill. And that was her music. That was the time I met Angie. But Eugene taught me a lot of music, and he taught me professionalism and how to handle yourself, and more importantly, how to handle multiple styles of music. So I understood that in order for me to be valuable to the industry, I must learn multiple styles of music. So through the wedding band with Eugene is where I was able to gain my skill set with going from the 50s all the way to current. And being from Philadelphia, I never lost that Philly soul music. So we're talking about the Stylistics. One of my mother's favorite groups was the Stylistics. So I knew all the stylists, all the songs from the 70s. My mother kept an 8-track in her Buick, and it had the stylistics. So I knew People Make the World Go Round. I knew the OJs. I knew all that music, but it's all the stylistic songs. And I think one of her favorite songs was You Make Me Feel Brand New. So I knew all of that music and moved on through the Spinners. She loved the Spinners. I heard one of her favorite songs last night, The Rubber Band Man. She loved that too. And then came You and all of it. I know it. Come on now. We're going to start with school. So, all of that, all of those styles of music. So, growing up in Philadelphia, Eugene always laughs about that. He says when you're from Philly, you need to be able to, Philly people can play, they can play music, and they can fight.
That's right.
All the best boxers come from Philadelphia, and all the best musicians come from Philadelphia. So I will concur on that and leave it there. But Eugene, I can't even say enough about Eugene and what he's been to me in my life. And even in the absence of my father, he's been like a father figure to me, because he's taken me under his wing and told me different things about the industry and how to carry myself as a young woman, because then I was a young woman when I started playing for him. And so he's been a very important part of my life, and I love him dearly. Thank you so much, Eugene, for coming back. Once again, you set me up. You always set me up. You always set me up.
Put wedding decorations on here. She thought this was food.
But in 1998, we were put together in ministry, and it's been an awesome 20 years of ministry together. I look forward to another 20 years in ministry. Pastor is my pastor. She is my sister. She is my friend. If you want to know exactly what I need, you need to go to Pastor. If you want to know what I'm thinking, you need to go to Pastor. If you want to know what's best, you need to go to Pastor. There are times when we are like oil and water, at times. Pastor is a morning person, I'm not. There are times when, I'm a musician, I operate on musician hours. Frank Sinatra, you never called his house before noon. Pastor will call a 6 a.m. prayer. I will call for clarification for that 6 a.m. prayer. And we're arguing up to 5:59 about the 6 a.m. prayer. But I'm grateful for God placing her in my life because she represents what a godly woman should be. And also she represents what a godly woman should be in the music industry as well. There are a lot of musicians that I have worked with, but there's just something that is unique in the heavenlies when we get together in ministry and we play together. Not discounting any one of my other musician friends in the room, because we all have unique chemistry. But there's just something about the relationship that we have in ministry that is unique and is powerful. Because when we minister together, strongholds are broken. When we minister together, bondages are broken. And there's an atmosphere that shifts in the room when we minister together. The prophetic mantle is something that is unique, and it should be taken with great care. And it should not be prostituted. It should not be perverted. it should always be taken in great reverence and great care. And what we have in the prophetic is something that is very, very special and unique, and I try to take and uplift it with the reverence and care that it deserves. I am blessed to be joined in ministry with Reverend Denise Cunningham Doggett, and I'm grateful that she is she is part of my family, and I consider her part of my family, and I'm grateful for her. And you set me up again, but I still love you. You set me up. You really set me up. I can't believe you set me up. Thank you. Thank you. And Mama Stewart. Mama Stewart is very special to me. She truly is my mother. She tells me what needs to be said with only a mother's love. And she always looks out and makes sure that I eat. That's very, very important to her. Because as a musician, most times you're playing and you're the last persons to eat. Or you don't get anything. I heard amen. You're the last person to eat, you don't get anything at all. And that's very, very important. As a mother, she looks out for me in ways that I don't even look out for me in my own way, in myself. I'm so busy playing, trying to meet the needs of others. She's always looking out. You need something to eat. Then she'll send someone from the church, and then she tells them, if I don't move fast enough, they'll come and get me and tell me I did not eat. I need to stop what I'm doing and eat. Or they'll make me a plate and tell me, Mama Stewart sent this over, that you need to eat. You need to stop what you're doing and eat. And I have to stop, or else I get in trouble, because I get that phone call. So I just, Mama Stewart, I just love you to death. I just can't say enough about you, because you look out for me like a mother should, and I'm just grateful to have you in my life. Yes, and we will be going out to dinner. Okay, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. But last but not least, my family. I am so surprised that my family got up here to spend some time with me. Even though my sister did say what she said was true. She said she was coming. And I said, okay, yeah, you're coming. You said, I don't know how I'm going to get here, but I'm going to get here. And so in my mind, I was trying to figure out, well, how is she going to get here? If she got some other things to do, got a whole lot of things going on, so I was surprised. And then when she said, I'm here, and I came outside, I saw not only my sister, but my nephew and his girlfriend. So I was really overwhelmed when I looked out the door and saw not one person, but 3 people. So it's been great having them around the last three couple days here. And so I'm just overwhelmed that you would take time out of your schedule, because I know the hustle and bustle of what you got going on at home in Philly, that you would take the time to drive up to Cleveland. Now, I know that's not an easy drive, and it's not a cheap drive, let's put it that way as well. It's kind of expensive driving up the turnpikes these days. But I feel with my sister has always been my protector. She's always been, everything that she said was true. We are like night and day. I'm the quiet, more reserved one, and she is the one that will speak her mind. And when she says something, she really does mean it. She'll speak her mind, and that's that. And if something's not wrong, she will speak her mind and address that right on the spot. And so where I'm more reserved and I'm quiet and I kind of process things, my sister's the one that meets it head on. So she has always been my protector, but she's always been my cheerleader. She's been always been my greatest support. And I just love you, and thank you so much for being here today. My nephew, my oldest nephew, Blaine, I was really surprised to see Blaine come up Blaine is my sister's mini-me. As you can tell, he looks just like my sister. It's her. That's my sister's firstborn. And Blaine and I have always had a special relationship. My sister was right when she says that my nephews all call me. They are all different. They're all different. They all are unique. They're all different. But they all are special to me, and they all call me. They are unique and all special to me. But what is very special to me is that Diarmond and Brendan are incarcerated. And that broke my heart. And despite all that, they still take the time to call me. And they took the time to call me. They still take the time to call me. And it's every time I talk to them, I will email them. I will send them money. Because I don't want them to feel like they've been abandoned. And anything I can do, I will do for them. I've even started taking extra jobs just to send them things so that they don't feel like they've been abandoned. And I tell them every time I write them anything they can say, anything they need, call me. Anything you want, call me. And all my nephews are very unique, but I never want them to feel like they've been abandoned. And especially ones that Brendan and their mom that have been incarcerated. So what you heard on the phone was my sister's youngest son, who was in prison, but called in the middle of the party to say, happy birthday. You don't know what that means to me. Because every month I'm calling and I'm writing, I'm emailing and I'm sending things for him. And even though I don't have children of my own, my nephews are like my sons. And I'll do anything for them. And I'm grateful for my nephews. Because with my parents gone, my parents have been gone for over 40 years. My father and my mother are deceased. I have been without parents since I was 8 years old. So my sister and my nephews are my family. And so when my nephews were incarcerated, I told my sister whatever I can do, I will do. She hasn't been working. So when she recently got the job, it's been a struggle. Anybody knows when you have kids that are incarcerated, it's a struggle. It's a struggle to send things to your children. The penal system does not give inmates anything. You have to buy whatever you need. You have to buy toiletries. You have to buy things. When you have family members and loved ones that are incarcerated, they depend on your support. They depend on your presence. And so, anything that my nephews need, they will get from me. Because they're family. And so the fact that my sister and my nephew took the time to come here meant the world to me. And the fact that my nephew took the time and probably did not have the resources, because any time you know when you're incarcerated, you have to have X amount of dollars on your books to even make a phone call. But the fact that he took the time and was able to say happy birthday, I love you, meant the world to me. A lot of you, I'm just sharing this for the first time because, again, I'm a quiet person. So I don't really talk about my private life because as a professional musician, my private life, my personal life is my personal life. And from a professional standpoint, sometimes that's what's best. when you are a professional musician. You keep your private life private. If you don't want your private life to become public. So I'm sharing this for the first time to just say, and for my closest friends to understand how much my family in Philadelphia means to me. All of you are all part of my extended family, but I want you to know how much my private family means to my personal family, means in Philadelphia, and for those of you who now know to pray. So that you now know what's going on and that you continue to pray for us and continue to pray for my family. But I was just overwhelmed that they would show up and take the time to drive all the way up here. And on top of that, that my nephews who are incarcerated would take the time to even send me or call me and write me and let me know that they love me. I love you. I love you, Darsha. I love you, Blaine. And even though I just met my nephew's girlfriend, you love her too. You love her too. Kayla, I love you too. So with all that being said, I'm to just thank you, all of you, friends, family, all of you that have come today. Like I said, I'm overwhelmed when I stepped in because this is one of my favorite places to be. I don't know if some of you have ever been here before, but those of you who haven't, this is now, Angie shaking her head, no. This is now, for those of you who don't know, this is the Nature Center in Shaker Heights. And so this is a wonderful place. It is a beautiful place to bond with nature. It's a wonderful place for reflection and meditation. So hopefully some of you will not be strangers again. Those of you who just found it for the first time, punch it in on your phone and make sure that you can return again. But thank you, all of you, for coming. I'm just overwhelmed again, but thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you, Zay. Thank you, T. Thank you. Thank you for all coming. And thank you so much for coming and sharing. Thank you for the food. Tina come out. She did the ribs.